Right, guys, so welcome back to Chat with Charlie. Today we have the Rivers. As you can see, we've actually got like loads of people here today. So we're going to go and get everyone to introduce themselves because some people will be listening on Spotify and they can't see the faces. So first we have Dan, so say hello, Dan.
Hello, Dan.
And you do the vocals, don't you, and you play guitar in
Yeah,
Rivers.
sing and play guitar.
There we go. And then we have to my, well, it's to the right on the screen. That is Nathan, so say hello, Nathan.
Hello, Nathan.
What is it you play, Nathan?
I play the drums.
There we go, drums. Then bottom left we have Evan with all the posters behind him.
I play bass.
Bass. There we go. And then we have Lloyd. Finally, last but not least, to my bottom.
Hello,
right.
I'm Lloyd. Hello.
What was it you play, Lloyd?
I play guitar.
There we go. Guitar.
Kind of.
So,
Sometimes.
Plays piano, really.
Again,
Sam plays sorts of parts.
so a lot of people obviously be wondering because obviously I'm a hip hop artist and some of the guys who follow me won't know you lot, but you're an indie band, aren't you? Based in Merthyr.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
One of them.
Yeah, because it's always interesting. Like wherever I go, because to be honest, I think most of the girls that I've dated recently have all been indie heads. I'm a hip hop artist. They're all indie girls, so shout out to all them. But
Fishnets, denim, skirt,
yep,
denim jackets.
Triple denim.
triple denim disasters. Like nah, so that's sort of it's obviously, it's always interesting, the sort of looking from the outside in to a different scene because like I'd heard of you guys, although I'm not really a big indie head myself. Like I like some indie music, but I've never really gotten into it myself. But I did know of you guys because of people that I'd worked with, people that I'd spoken to. I think Laura Power mentioned you guys.
Yeah.
There you go. Shout out to Laura. She's got a kid on the way now.
Yeah.
So big ups to Baby
She does.
C.
Big up.
Yeah.
Big up Laura and Baby C.
So obviously you guys are about, but yeah, like I say, I mean, we were talking before. We actually had some pretty cool stories. I think it's a good way to start. If we look at Evan's screen, he's got a "I Want to Believe" poster. But we were actually talking about UFOs, weren't we? You weren't here, Lloyd, but
No.
because
Well.
I think we should go around, right? So who here actually believes that we have like UFOs come and visit the Earth?
I don't know if they visited. They could be from here.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh.
Yeah.
What about you?
I just like to point out now that Evan's views don't represent the band in any way. He's just totally independent in this.
Right.
It represents us completely.
Yeah, the Rivers, like, but nice.
I'm not going to pull a Mumford and Sons on you boys. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Good about that.
I didn't hear about that, to be fair.
Basically, I think the banjo player, right, he came out in support of this guy, Andy. No, he wrote a book about Antifa. And basically, he was like, right, I quit the band because I don't want to get the band in trouble for discussing my political views. Which, fair enough.
Oh,
You know?
yeah,
But
fair.
people are up in arms about it. And yeah, Mumford and Sons suck. But
What does this have to do with the UFOs?
He's just sort of about like how beliefs, I suppose, don't represent the
We've
full
gone
band.
from UFOs to Mumford and Sons.
I think UFOs is probably a little bit less harmful than political views. Like whether or not there's
A little less harmful.
little green men in spaceships flying around is a little bit different than.
we'll find a way to criticize it.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's definitely less harmful than Mumford and Sons. So
Definitely. Let's not put Mumford and Sons. Please.
you have some
Please.
Mumford and Sons fans like raging now in the comments, like.
great.
Bring it on.
I had tickets to all your shows, the Rivers, but because of this, Mumford and Sons. Yeah, so go on. You were saying you had a close encounter, didn't you, Evan?
Yeah, of the 12th kind. Basically, I was in my local pub. Like, my mate Sam used to work behind the bar. Anyway, so I been there. I had maybe 2 Budweisers. I remember all I drink. All I really drink is Budweiser, right? 2 Budweisers. So I wasn't steaming. I was fine. Maybe a little bit wonky, but it was all right. Anyway, So I got a stretch of trail called the Taffy Trail by me. Runs from Cardiff all the way up to Brecon, for those of you who don't know. And I guess I got the Pontypridd stretch. The pub is right by there. So anyway, we went onto the trail. It was a kind of a dark, rainy night. And over the skies of Abercynon, I'd say, was this bright oval shade in the sky. I say, fucking hell, moon's pretty bright tonight. And my mate says, that's not the moon. Look over there. And over, I guess, it rises in the east. In the east is the moon. Big fucking circle in the sky. Well, what's that then over there? We stared at it for a bit in disbelief, trying to figure out what it was. And then it did this little circular motion and disappeared. I don't know what it was. Yeah. Could be aliens, if you believe in that kind of thing. I don't know what it was. All I know is that I saw it, and it was weird.
If that's not made into a film, Hollywood have missed a shot there.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Imagine that.
Blockbuster movie.
Like,
Yeah.
It's like,
Feature Michael Bay. Is that it?
what's the next project about, lads? Evan saw an alien.
like that story to Michael Bay. Look, until he stops making bloody Terminator movies, he's not Terminator, Transformers. Sorry, he ain't getting the rights. Simple as. Those movies suck. The first one is alright, you know. That's alright. Sam Witwicky and that. No problem with that. Great. The rest suck. Mark Wahlberg. Go fuck yourself, Mark Wahlberg. Fuck you.
There's that point we now have to put explicit on the podcast. But
Yeah.
nah, it's all right. It's all right. It's all good. Yeah, that's an interesting thing because it's cool. Because like all my music's clean. Like that's the thing. Like I'm not sure about you guys. Like obviously especially for a rapper these days, to have clean music is quite rare. But
Yeah.
I just find with radio play sometimes it helps because like have you guys had a lot of radio play then?
We've had not anything, not like the major stations. We've had like the independent ones, and BBC introducing as well.
Yeah, that's good.
But that's obviously like the biggest. So we've had like a fair bit, yeah. But no, we don't have to worry about the explicit thing either. I think all ours is safe.
Yeah, because
Peggy 12.
Peggy 12, yeah, same. It was interesting though because when I actually uploaded to the BBC uploader, and it was one of my singles back in November 2019 that got picked, called Cash Converters, and they actually said on the thing, I'm not sure if you guys saw the same thing when you experienced it, but they was like, don't worry about swearing, we can mute it ourselves and censor it ourselves. And I was like,
oh, all right.
Yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. Because that song in particular, Cash Converters, there were a couple of things that were not swear words, but like, do you want to air the word knife on like radio? It's kind of an interesting one. So it sort of went there, but
it's funny how you can't swear, but you might be able to depict acts of violence in your music. You know?
Yeah.
Well, what do we class as like? You watch like 12s or like kids' movies basically, and you see all the fighting, you see all this violence, right? But if they say fuck one too many times, that's it.
Yeah.
It don't make any sense. You can hear it on the street anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting because when I was growing up, like I believe my parents did a good job. Like, I'm just gonna they might be listening right now, so shout out to both my mums, big ups to them. But like I was allowed to watch anything that was violent or swearing, but it was like drugs, nudity, sexual references, that type of stuff. We weren't, because it was like, well, you're gonna see this growing up, anyway. You're gonna hear people swear. Like this, the second last place where I lived, Morecambe in the northwest. I mean, we saw a lot of violence there anyway. I mean, we saw the drugs and everything there in Morecambe. But big ups to Morecambe. They've given me a lot of support wherever I've been. So, yeah, a lot of love to them. But, yeah, it's an interesting perspective. So, yeah. But like we were saying before as well, because obviously it's been a while since you guys have actually released any new music, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been too long.
Yeah.
2019, I think you said.
Yeah. It was,
Yeah.
that EP was
It
September.
feels it feels close but far away at the same time. Like I can still remember doing it all, but it does feel
It feels fresh.
yeah.
Let's be
I
honest.
I feel like everyone's missed a year in terms of
Yeah.
releasing
Yeah.
music and actually being able to go in and record. Everyone's in the same situation as we are.
Unless they've
So-
made a really bad quarantine EP.
Now I feel
You know?
I feel attacked now. Actually, one second. I did make
In the right songs about the lockdown. How creatively bankrupt is that?
They
pull out the CDs, but yeah, it's I think there's always I think it's about your approach to it though. Like this is a shameless plug now. This is my EP Middle Times. I think most people listening to this know about it. I do actually have an open version somewhere with a booklet and everything in it, so it's cool. But that was about the times. It wasn't actually about lockdown really. It was about the times in between lockdowns. But I do agree with you there, Evan, because I've got mates in New Zealand, and I remember I dropped a song called "Miss That," and it was about missing the things we had before lockdowns. And they're like, "What do you mean? We've never had a lockdown." So it's not like a global thing. And I was born in Australia, so it's like they were the same in Queensland. They're like I was speaking to my grandparents, and they're like, "What social distancing?" Like,
yeah.
but again, I'm not sure. We're not going to go too deep into that because I know different people have different views. But this is my. I have been vaccinated. Like I know people that have different views.
Same, yeah.
Different things. Obviously that each to their own. But yeah, just so that everyone knows, I'm not at risk. Yeah, guys. Now that was the thing. Actually, speaking on that, because obviously CDs, merch. I think that's one of the things that stood out to me about you guys was, obviously you have a shop set up, online shop.
Yeah.
You have the merch. You have the T-shirts, and like I don't really know too many people who do that nowadays. So it is good. I appreciate that when I see it. So
yeah, it's a good way to make to make money when you're like an independent band, because Spotify don't help you out in that sense, and other streaming sites. So if you can get people to buy a CD or T-shirt or whatever, it helps out, put money back into the band then, and like a lot of it goes back on to the merch, then some of it stockpile for like future recording and that. So
yeah. No, that's good.
I think it's a helpful thing to do. I think people miss a trick not doing it.
Yeah, because it's like I always tell people to do the same. Like I'm sure you guys have I suppose like on Instagram, how many followers? We've got about the same number of followers, don't we, on Instagram? So I imagine. Oh, someone's dropped out, but I just moved them around. Well, that's weird then, Zoom. But yeah, because we've got a similar number of followers. I imagine we've got a similar number of actual fans. And like I've been able to obviously make money back on my T-shirts. So again, I assume you guys have done the same. And I think there's a lot of artists who just feel, I don't know, it's like making that jump to putting down, a couple of £100 and being like, okay, this is an investment on my career to make some money, buying merch, getting merch designed. But yeah.
Yeah, I think you do have to be prepared to make a bit of a loss at the start. But I think 100%. You would with any business. You've got to make the initial payment to like get the rewards, I guess. But once people work that out, then they can go on and sell merch, and it can be like the main income rather than like the playing live, I guess.
Yeah, no, because well, like you say, playing live obviously it's not really been happening too much. But also, like, this is what I was thinking as well. There's obviously 4 of you in a band, so I'm not sure how this all works when it comes to how much you all invest in the band and how much you all get. But is that just like an even split, I take it, then? Do you all just 25% each?
So, I've only been in the band for like a quarter of the time that the rest of them have, so I haven't really invested anything as much as they have. But hopefully, the plan for the future is to all kind of chip in for everything. So, yeah.
We split everything, and then like the money say we get from doing a gig, like I always ask the boys if they want their half or stick it into the band account.
Yeah.
So, if they want theirs, they can have it. If not, it will go straight in, like back into the band. So I think it's the best way to do it. I know, I know bands that have fallen out because of the money, because nobody wants to like reinvest it or whatever. So it's just easier.
Yeah, money's definitely a big one.
There's no arguments in the band then because of it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Good.
That's one thing we've managed to do is like, I've been in plenty of bands. I've been playing bass since I was about 11 or 12. And most of them have just descended into arguments, you know? Should we do this? No, I don't want to play that song. No, let's do this, let's do that, right? And it's just chaos. But this band, where we managed to, for 3-4 years, we've managed to just not argue. I can't think of one like major argument we've had. I can't even think of many disagreements, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I know.
No, that's definitely good. That's like a testimony of, I suppose, a friendship as well. Like, do you guys know each other beforehand then, before you even formed the band? I know Lloyd, you joined a bit later.
Yeah.
But like for the other three of you, Dan, Evan, and Nathan, like you guys, like, you know, how did you meet? How did the band form? How did Rivers form?
Well, knew each other. Sorry, Dan.
One at a time.
Me and Evan have a mutual friend, and she knew that I was starting a band, or I was already in a band, but that had, like, fallen through, and I was looking for new members basically.
Yeah.
And she knew Evan, so put us in touch. So we did a few gigs under the Rivers name, like before Nathan and Lloyd joined. It was with people that I knew from college. And then when that they like didn't want to do the music anymore, so went looking for a drummer and went on a website called Join My Band, which is the Tinder of band members. And found Nathan's ad there. I don't know if you had an ad or if you approached.
No, I had an ad because I remember I was like 15. I put my first ad, and a lot of people were like
70 on there,
they would ask me like, "Oh yeah, you interested?" I'm like, "Yeah," and they'd ask for like information on me, and I'd say like, "I'm 15," and they'd be like, "Oh no, so you're too young," and it's like that for I think a year, and I kind of stopped trying, and I kind of gave up on it. I was just thinking like, "Oh, I'm too young, really." And next thing you know, got a message from the Rivers when I was like 16.
Nice.
Asking if I wanted to join. Well, here we are.
Yeah, did we have like a demo on our page?
The Hello Today demo.
No, and then Lloyd's. It was the last gig before everything properly shut down. Just things I think were starting to shut down because it was just me and Evan. We did like an acoustic set, and Lloyd's band, the Catacombs, were playing, and I said to Evan, "I really like that guitarist."
So I fancy him, boy. Fancy them.
Yeah, his stunning good looks. Just they do something to me.
I put on my best smile.
Get him in the band.
I said to Evan, we should try and get him in the band, which Evan did.
So I got hammered. Put on my best smile.
Pretty much.
I went to Lloyd. I said, "Would you like to be in a rock and roll band?" And then Lloyd said, "Go on, Lloyd, you bet."
So from what I remember, Evan was running around the room with a bottle of Corona, going, "Does anybody want any Corona, boys?" Ha 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 ha. He thought it was the best joke in the world at the time. Yeah. And he basically approached me after my band came off, and he was like, "Oh, boy, come and join my band." So I was like, "Yeah, I'll give it a go." So, and here we are, 2 years later.
Damn. And where was that? Because all you guys are all like scattered all over Wales, aren't you? Really?
Yeah. But,
hotel.
Where was it?
The Ronva Hotel in Porth.
In Porth. I'm up in Porth.
We're not
week, actually.
Place of dreams. God's ashtray.
God's ashtray, did you call it?
Yeah.
Damn, I've never. That's a deep one. Like again, any listeners from Porth? I've never been to Porth. I can't comment.
I love Porth. I grew up in Treafford, 5 minutes down the road.
Yeah, I know a singer up in Tonopandi. I think that's where Laura Power's from, actually. But her friend Lauren Evans is also from Tonopandi. So I know,
But yeah, we know.
Yeah.
know Lauren as well. Yeah.
We're familiar with Laura.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's weird. Like again, it seems it's like a small world. Everyone knows everyone. So it's like kind of. I knew Lauren, and then through Lauren I met Laura Power, and then I knew. Do you guys know Otto? Is his Otto?
Yeah.
I kind of knew him separate, but then I also knew him through them too as well, because I went to an open mic night at Ocean Arts in Cardiff, and I saw Otto perform there. He was hosting it, and I remember there was like loads of like, it was mostly older people, but I brought my brother and like three of his mates down, and they're like, "Oh, perform Cash Converters," which is like my most drill and grime inspired song to all these like 50-year-olds. They loved it, to be fair. But that's how I met Otto, and I applied for Forte, and he told me that he gave me the highest marks possible, so that was nice. Didn't get in, but Otto had my back.
Snap.
Yeah.
Laura was in charge of doing our one.
Yeah,
last.
What was that? Was that last year?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
I applied for that one as well. Again, it's interesting. I've had a little bit of. Right, have you guys got in Forte? Am I?
No.
I had a little bit of insight. This is inside knowledge. Dun dun dun.
Yeah, it might be the same inside knowledge that I got told as well.
No, maybe it is, maybe it's not. But this is for the people who are applying for these things. I'm not dissing them. I'm not dissing any of these projects. I mean, to be fair, I feel happy that I can do a lot of stuff by myself. I feel like if a door is closed with one of these opportunities, I will literally build the building myself and come in that way.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm doing this podcast, to be honest. Yeah. But anyway, I was told that there's only... Okay, so yeah, there might be, 6-10 spaces, but they only want one of this type of artist, one of that type of artist. So if one year, for example, they had 6 amazing bands, they wouldn't pick this 6 bands.
Yeah.
They have to pick like one of each. So they have to say, okay, we need a male rapper, a female rapper, a singer, we need a band. Like it's more like that rather than... all in all. So they try and get the balance that way. I mean, again, this is just what I've been told. It could be wrong.
Yeah, from what I've heard, they seem to like out of the ones they do get in, like pick favorites. I know like the ones that they'll like focus on pushing and then get like all the funding and stuff like that. So, but I think when it first started, I think it's a good thing. I think recently maybe it hasn't worked in the way that they would have wanted it to. But
I did notice that when we were applying, they said they said at the bottom of the page, it said they were looking for minorities. Basically, they'd rather, what's the word? A preference towards minorities.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously that's quite a difficult one to speak on. I don't.
Yeah.
I personally don't think it's really a thing. I don't think ticking boxes is really a thing. And that's what I'm going to say. From my experience, I don't think it is. Although I will say there was some funding I applied for recently, and this wasn't even about who you were. I'm not going to call out what the funding is. It was music funding, guys, right?
Yeah.
I had to provide one link for my music, and then the rest of the questionnaire was questions about things like, have I got anyone in my family who's been in prison? Do I have any troubles with drugs and alcohol, substance abuse? Am I from a single parent household? And okay, I understand that maybe that's to do with providing funding to people who are disadvantaged, but you can find that out from my postcode, to be honest, if you really want to find that out. And I was like, if this is music funding, this is something I'm quite passionate about. You should be asking me what my dreams and ambitions are in music. You should be like, where do you see yourself in 5 years with music?
That's the difficult thing to tackle in music, isn't it? Because music is supposed to be the most diverse and most accepting thing you can have.
Yeah.
And it tends to be a lot of I think of the way to word it. That's a really good way to word it.
It's a difficult.
There tends to be a lot of focus on the person instead of the music.
Yeah.
That's all I leave it at, because I mean, I just think there's so much around now that's not focused on how good the person is at doing their job as a musician. So that's it for me.
It's more about who they are as a character. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like are they funny? Are they personality? And not necessarily are they a good guitarist? Are they a good drummer? You know?
Yeah, good job. Good job. We're all sexy, because otherwise we'd be struggling, wouldn't we?
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I got that hairline as well. Come on, ladies. Come on, ladies. Like, but now,
you know the name. I don't remember.
The pickup show, Charlie J's pickup podcast. It's not that. Nah, you've been getting absolutely rubbish tips, so we're gonna leave it at that. But that being said, what is the plan then for you guys? Like the next, like, I suppose, year, now that things are opening up, like, where do you guys want to go with your music?
Well, penciled in for recording in July.
Yeah.
Late July. So that'll be done. We get the mixes early August.
Yeah.
We've got some gigs that are already arranged, some that are trying to get rescheduled. But just to gig as much as possible to make up for the year that we've lost, I guess, and
cool.
See where like the new releases take us.
That's cool. And like, when it comes to like writing sessions, then obviously with the band, you've not been able to get together until maybe recently. What does that happen like here on Zoom, or do you have like a?
To be fair, that's probably like the only process it hasn't hindered in any way.
Yeah.
Because what would happen before is I'd write the songs and then take them to the band in like the rehearsal room. So with us having like no gigs to rehearse or anything, there hasn't been like a need to I guess like take any new songs down. But so I've just been demoing them here in the shed.
The shed.
And then just sending them into the group chat.
Nice.
But it's probably been like the least affected part of it all.
Has that like changed the process for any of you guys then as well? Because obviously, if Dan's writing them, and then when it comes to you guys picking them up.
Well, we get sent them on Dropbox, and I think the best thing is, even though Dan's written them with the structure and with the lyrics and everything, we can still do what we think suits the songs.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, I can go, I think this song could really do with this little bit in it. I don't think anybody would be opposed to then going, actually, you're right. It could do with that, or just shooting the idea down completely and saying, no, don't be an idiot. How dare you put a 10-minute solo in the middle of a new song?
And then one of my bass lines of that, like, technical, and I can kind of just learn them on the fly. So I haven't. It's not changed much for me. It just means that I guess I'm not learning them as fast as I used to.
All right. Yeah.
I haven't rehearsed. know, but if I learn it in one rehearsal, really.
Oh, that's all right then. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's always interesting, that creative space. You know, I said briefly before we started recording this, I'm grateful that pretty much everything I need to make music is right here in my bedroom. Like lockdown and all that. Although I've worked throughout all of lockdown, it's not really hindered it too much because I've not needed to be in a studio. But I have been missing the collaboration, like collaborative aspects of being in person with someone else. So luckily I've been able to get back to some jam sessions. Like, I'm not sure, have you guys had a rehearsal yet all together since things have opened up?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we did one of like the first gigs back over in Bristol.
Yeah.
Because stuff opened over there.
Yeah.
Sooner than
I
did over here. So
I've been the same with I had a gig up in Lancashire first. That was the end of May.
Yeah.
And then I had a gig. I did a gig a couple of weeks back in Bristol. Nothing in Wales. They've not asked me yet.
Yeah. No, I know. Same, mate.
Yeah. Any promoters? Come on, promoters. Like, if you want a good band, the Rivers are here. If you want a good rapper, Charlie J. Like, Go
There
on.
we go.
Got the audience, got the merch,
Anyway,
got everything.
I'm a big fan of like. Have you ever heard the Judgment Night soundtrack?
No, I haven't.
It's great. It's like two Cypress Hill tracks, and it's like 90s hip hop artists, and then like 90s rock bands working on music together. It's great. You like Sonic Youth and Cypress Hill on one track. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You got like fucking I can't think who's on it off the top of my head, but it's good. Should do something like but
Yeah, I'm always down to collab. Always down. I know everyone thinks when they think like rock and rap, they think like, oh, Collision Course, Linkin Park, Jay-Z, like, whoa. But yeah, I'm always down to collaborate on different styles and different music. Like I'm sure like you guys are pretty open with this, the same sort of thing. I've worked with jazz bands before. I've worked with
cool.
Yeah, I've done some freestyle stuff with rock bands when I was in my youth club, but it's like, yeah, that live aspect. I've been trying to put a band together to do my EP because it's like a lot of neo soul influence in my EP. So I've got a few people already, like, but yeah, it's just always, I love that, like, it's so good.
The muted bass lines, the sort of Jameson style bass, like all those pretty keys, right?
What do you mean the Jameson style?
Like, is it James Jameson, the old Motown bass player, played on like all of those fucking Marvin Gaye albums, and very certainly played on What's Going On.
Yeah, love
Definitely
that
played on Ain't No High. Fucking amazing. But what he used to do is he used to take his bass and put like a sponge under it, and I guess give it this muted kind of soul vibe. I don't know. I know a lot of neo soul artists do that.
I'm not sure. It was Pino Palladino was on Voodoo, D'Angelo. I love that album, Voodoo. I mean, I don't know if you guys. Yeah, and it was my mate. Shout out to Katie. She's the one who did a lot of the bass lines on the EP. I don't think she did to record that. I'm pretty sure she just used plugins to get the sound that she wanted, and then it was passed over to my mate Brian. He mixed the project, so he was doing the finishing touches. But yeah, I didn't know about the sponge stuff. When it comes to live performances, that could definitely be something to keep in mind, I suppose.
Try it out.
Yeah, nice one. Yeah, but I was gonna say on that though, Nathan, when it comes to your drumming, can you do the whole Questlove like drunk drumming where it's all swung like?
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of a funny story. I think it was our song "Realize" from my EP. We were going up to record it, and in the car on the way up, I was listening to, what's it called? Oh no, I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember what it's called. It's like Slum Village's most popular song.
Fall in Love.
Oh,
Fall in Love. The drum beat for that. So we ended up going to record. No wait, I think it might have been just when we were making Realize.
Yeah.
And in the second verse, I was like, all right, I'm going to play like a simple drum beat here. And the first beat that came to mind was that Fall in Love drum beat.
Yeah.
Like the Jay Dilla, the kick, the ghost kicks between each other. Yeah. Really kind of like our time kick drums. And I was kind of like, all right, I'm going to do that basically so if you listen to the second verse on Realize then, that's literally all I do with the kick drum. Is just try and get that sloppy falling down the stairs kind of sound.
That's
sick. That's sick. Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. Now, because I was going to say then, because obviously, bringing back to the EP, Lloyd, because you've not actually been a member for that long, are we yet to hear anything with you on like Spotify then?
Yes. Yeah, there's actually nothing of me from the Rivers on Spotify yet. Hopefully very soon when we record the EP, we'll get a few good sounds out. I am my other band are on Spotify, and I do have
the plug in there.
One or two solos on those songs, so you should check out Catacombs while you're at it.
Catacombs,
but
to check.
Yeah, so but hopefully soon I'll put some cool guitar riffs on some of the River songs, and then we'll see how it goes.
Nice
They'll
one.
probably end up being thrown out and Dan will just do the lead on them. You know?
Oh, you never know.
Definitely not.
Cool. Right, before we go though, like lads, anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to sort of push or promote?
I mean, I gotta promote the merch at least once a day. It's
Nice.
otherwise, everyone will be let down and disappointed that I haven't done it. So yeah, you can go buy t-shirt, hoodie, CD. There's a link in our Instagram page, and to the This Feeling gig in Cardiff on November the 4th.
November the 4th. There you go.
It's gonna be a good one.
There you go.
Remember, the 4th of November.
Yeah, there we go, lads. Right, again, great speaking to you all as well. Good to have you on.
Nice
one. Mate.
We don't just think of pop artists and stuff. We got bands now as well. So big ups to all you lads. Right, bless.
Sounds good. See you, man.
Thank you.